What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of Dev Talks with your host Traven, where we talk about everything engineering technology wise. And in this video, we're gonna dive into this interview on Wall Street Journal. They've been doing some really good interviews lately, but in this video, we're gonna be diving into OpenAI trying to get bailed out by the government, apparently. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Is the life of a frontier chip, right? We, OpenAI, at our core, are the model company that needs always to be the state of the art. That's what we've done time and time again. GPT-5 is no exception. But even in areas like open source, we're attempting to put the state of the art model always out into the world. And in order to do that, we always want to be on the frontier chip. So the question is, how long does a chip remain on the frontier? Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or even longer? Now, in a world where we have no compute, or we're compute constrained, we are absolutely using chips that have like A100 equivalents that have been around like maybe 6, 7 years at this point in time. If that's the case, financing chips gets a lot easier. If the timeline on the chip stays short, that gets harder. And so this is where we're looking for an ecosystem of banks, private equity, maybe even governmental, the ways governments can come to bear.
Meaning like a federal subsidy or something?
Meaning like just first of all, the backstop, the guarantee that allows the financing to happen. That can really drop the cost of the financing, but also increase the loan to value, so the amount of debt that you can take on top of an equity portion for
So some federal backstop for chip investment.
Exactly. And I think we're seeing that. I think the US government in particular has been incredibly forward-leaning, has really understood that AI is almost a national strategic asset, and that we really need to be thoughtful when we think about competition with, for example, China. Are we doing all the right things to grow our AI ecosystem as fast as possible?
Are you talking to the White House about how to further formalize that kind of backstop?
We're always being brought in by the White House to give our point of view as an expert on what's happening in the sector, for sure.
Should we, is there something in the works that's tangible?
Nothing,
and sort of...
No, I love you, Sarah, but nothing to announce, nothing that's...
They're not going to announce anything yet because they haven't gotten it, and another reason why is because the government is shut down. So when it comes to like funding and everything, they're really not going to get it at this point in time. So they're kind of on pause. Their timer's kind of paused right now. But I want you guys to pay attention to really what they're saying here, right? But before I dive into what she's saying, I want to make something crystal clear for people. A lot of companies run off of debt. OpenAI just went through this whole reconstruction or it's called something that they went through. They redid something and now they're shaped completely differently now on how they're dealing with money and everything because they're planning on going public soon. And the deal with going public, right, and OpenAI, the deal is every single company runs off of debt. They all take out loans. They all take out all this other stuff, just like how people with money do. They take out money against their own equity into something. These companies take out money against their own equity on their own take, in a sense, and they have so many loans and debts. But and that's how they function. Like you can go on Google Finance, look up a stock, and you can see how much debt and everything that this company has when you do something like that. You can actually go through Google Finance and I'm going to pull up an example, right? And since Microsoft is one of their biggest investors, we're going to look at Microsoft. So give me 1 second, guys, so I can pull it up actually. Or oh, they changed it a bit. I want to go to the classic look. Yup, here we go. The classic look, not the beta look. So when we look at Google Finance, right? As you guys can see, this is my screen. We're going to look at Microsoft right here. And when we look at Microsoft, you see they're trading at 479, right? They haven't been doing so good lately. They've been going down in the last day. The last week, they're down 6%. But when you scroll down here, you get their revenue statements, right? You get their balance sheets, and this is in their cash flow, right? How much money and stuff they have coming in. The balance sheets are literally what she's talking about to an extent. When you look at this, they have quarterly and annually. So these are Microsoft's quarterly balance sheets from last year going up to this year. Liabilities and assets. This is the assets or the equity and everything else that they're taking money accounts. Liabilities are all the debt and money that they owe. When you see these companies making all these big deals and giving out money and loans and all that other stuff, this is the debt and stuff that they're going on. I guarantee you, OpenAI's lines are way up here with their revenue and their assets. They probably have a extreme amount of debt and liabilities that they're sitting here and they want to ask the government, in a sense, for money. They're sitting here and they're asking the government for money due to these liabilities that they have, and probably some payouts and things. And this is the crazy part, right? Let's just get real with it. Yes, our country needs to stay ahead of AI, but kind of in the way that she's referencing it is the same way that China does stuff with their businesses. She just sat there. Literally, you guys just heard her bring up China. China being their one biggest competitor. You know, China's government is in everything. They have ownership in probably all their businesses and things like that. So, what are they asking the government to do? Something similar? This is supposed to be private companies getting bailed out by the government because of their debt, because they're trying to be the first person to every single stage. They want to be the one, the main one. They want to be the main contributor, the person at top every single time. They want to be the one that stays up to date, has the best product, all this. And for them to be able to do that, they need the government's help, along with other private investors and things like that. But they need the government's help to build data centers, all that. They need money for it. So they're asking for the government's help. But you know what the problem with asking the government for help is? Whose money are they using? Whose money are they using? And if you haven't figured out whose money they're using now, if that was the case, or they're trying to use, it would be yours. The money that you pay in taxes. Do you want your money to go to a private company so that they can stay afloat? And it's not like they're going to get more loans or whatever from other companies. Microsoft is a heavy investor in them. You think they're going to let them go down? No, they are trying to take every route possible to stay afloat. Unless I'm interpreting this all wrong, but it sounds like they want the government to bail them out, almost like how they bailed out all those banks back in the day with all their debts and things. That's what it sounds like to me. Anybody else? Yes, no, maybe, possibly. Oh, that's crazy and insane. That's crazy and insane. And to use the standpoint of we need to stay ahead and be that new shiny thing that's always out and consistently, that's what we strive to do. So we need this today, be able to do it. That's a crazy thing. And they're not going to admit it coming out or anything, especially if it's not public. And especially with Congress not even working right now and dealing with money. So who knows? Maybe they think that the government's going to do them a favor because they think they're doing the government a favor with being one of these advisors for this industry. But I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so, so much. If you have any suggestions, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Check out all my links in the description. Give me a follow on all of them. Bunch of content coming out to other locations. Without further ado, peace. See y'all next time.